Hey guys, Sandra here, come at you from the PG of A's, and today we will be playing Seduce Me. Alright, now, you might hear me chewing or this crinkling of the bag, but I am eating a cookie right now, so really freaking good. I love it. Alright, any hoozle dandy, let's get back into this, shall we? Cookies! Okay. Now, I read that one in the last one, so maybe they were just perfect compliments. Their personality just didn't detect the possibility of their friendship. After all, we three have been best friends since preschool. Oh, that's nice.
Alright, so where are we heading to first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously spicy bubblegum.
Who would even buy that? I wonder.
I would.
Me? I would pay good money to get a taste of it.
Haha, you like spicy food after all. So do I. Maybe that wasn't a good executive decision to eat a cookie in a game that requires me to read a lot. Ah! We entered the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with the aromas of different kinds of food. As we got in line, we ordered our meals and chatted freely.
Cajun fries and the spicy chicken burger for me. That's my definition of a good meal.
I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice. You're probably going to need water or something to curb all that spicy flavor, Suzu.
I can't be tamed by the likes of that. If it's spicy, then it's gotta be all or nothing.
You're crazy!
Hell yeah, I'm crazy.
I think I'm getting a migraine.
I think I'll go with... Nah. I don't like tuna sandwiches. I love tuna, I don't like tuna sandwiches. Let's do mac and cheese and a soda. That sounds good. Once we got our food, we settled down at one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food. Suzu leaned back in her chair, tilting it back so that she could rest her feet on the table by her food.
Alright then, is there anything we want to talk about?
Bored already?
I know, let's talk about...
Say boys, and I will never speak to you ever again.
Aw, why not?
What's so interesting about talking about guys? Not like any of us are gonna get boyfriends anytime soon.
We don't know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend?
Like that's going to happen, Naomi. Look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You're a ditzy blonde.
Hey!
No offense. And Anderson here. Well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend if she wants.
Or girlfriend?
She can be a lesbian if she wants.
True.
That's okay, Suzu. I'm not sure I want a boyfriend yet.
Why not? It's our senior year. Might as well get a boyfriend.
Maybe she's just not interested in a relationship, Suzu.
Well, it really wasn't about wanting a relationship, but more of there was no one interesting enough to be in a relationship with. That was my deal! That was me in high school. I wanted a relationship, but I hated everyone. Don't get me wrong. I'm an open person, but there were not many interesting guys in the school to go out with. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanting to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafeteria started up, and an announcement echoed through the cafeteria.
Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you.
Oh my.
Well, damn.
Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious?
Fine. If something happens, just call us.
I'm like Suzu. Funny enough, something did happen. And it was certainly no laughing matter. Cold. It was really cold. Rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by rolling thunder. Now and then the skies had turned dark, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. Not that I was looking up, in fact. Looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look up at the people weeping around me. All I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Only the monotone whatever the fuck that word is, I don't know. Don't judge me, I don't know what it is. I will admit that. That floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. It was only when the speeches ended that I finally was able to raise my head. I'm guessing that's my dad. A small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know or related to me, were huddled around a simple small grave. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in a heavenly sight. I looked beside me where my father was standing. Oh, so it's not my father. And holding up a large black umbrella for our small family of 3. His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, to the smooth gray tombstone before us was his father's name. Oh, so it's my grandfather. My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small, only close family were allowed to come. Slowly, though, people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and me behind at the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform, black umbrella of the funeral attendants, walked towards us, introducing himself as grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud its contents.
And now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
Well, damn! What? I couldn't believe my ears. I had earned the family estate at 18? That was impossible! And yet it was written in my own grandfather's hand. That's fucking awesome!
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
Oh, so my dad's pissed?
Dear.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in. What a stubborn old man.
Wow, my dad's a dick. Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
Honey, what do you think?
Say, hell, judging by this type of how you talk to her and how she obediently obeys everything, I would say that this is not a healthy family to be in, but hey, what the hell do I know? My parents were... Anything is better than what my parents were. I will not get into it now. It's too early on in the game, game of YouTube, I'll say, for me to share all this lovely information with you guys. But anywho, on with the game. I really wasn't sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to his mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
Damn! My dad's a dick!
David!
Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began to walk back to the car.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now?
You can go on ahead to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
He gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save for the solemn-looking grave that was laid in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all of this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they pass away? Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. His disdain for my grandfather was almost painful. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choking sob. He told me to stay strong, but right now, I'm the furthest from it, like that one time a long time ago. Flashback! Grandpa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather, the way he greeted me. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It had always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house. Decided that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
No, I think I'm in the next dimension over, Grandfather. Yeah. So what are we doing today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we can go.
Oh, I would love to. But I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Yes! Ooh, is that a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them, but I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Of course! He placed the toy in my hands with a smile, and I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing, though.
So, what do you think?
I think the heart on its chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive. And it could be like a little nightlight before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silence, deliberating, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of it in the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not so sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
He bent down to look at me, eye level, with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
I had heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter. But it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard, though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you. Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me. We'll stand together to get through it.
How can you be so sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
He pointed his finger to my head first, and then pointed it at my chest.
So stay strong. Promise?
For a moment he looked sad, pleading. But as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles once again. Promise! Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
All right then. Enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen!
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
You willed me the very home I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I would be ready to take it? Especially after this. A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. I'm sorry, it's hard to stay calm when you've left me with so many questions. Especially about what happened between you and Dad. Ha! What am I doing? Talking to a grave? Yes, that's exactly what you're doing. And what I am doing will be ending this video right here. Okay. So leave a like if you've enjoyed watching, subscribe if you want. I make new videos whenever I can, and I will see you guys in the next video that I make. Later, skaters!